And welcome back to AKSN. We are moving right along. This time we are talking with Naptime Nic Herron-Webb, former AFC fighter. Now you're a WSOF World Series of Fighting fighter. Really appreciate you being on the show today, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you guys having me. It's awesome.
I mean, you know, when an Anchorage guy consistently, you know, tends to do well and, you know, making it. You were on a UFC. You're a UFC guy and also AFC guy, and I mean, very consistent. You've been fighting for about 7 years. You know, in the game. Just talk about what's the experience been like since you started.
It's been an amazing experience. After I graduated from high school, I just kind of fell into fighting and kind of started falling in love with it. It was just kind of a whole humbling experience. The whole game itself is constantly evolving, and you're constantly pushing your body, and it's something that I love to do and enjoy very much. I've been getting better, you know, throughout the years and getting exposure with being on the Ultimate Fighter, and I just signed this World Series contract back in September. So I'm just super excited for the future, you know, that holds for me.
Now, can you talk a little bit about, I guess, this upcoming fight that you have? You're on a 4-fight winning streak. That's what I saw on Shirt Dog. And can you just talk about that as well? You know,
I dropped down to 155 pounds. I started fighting here, and I fought for the 155 belt and won that belt. Okay. Then I got a contract with the World Series of Fighting and talked with them, and they signed me with a 4-fight contract for 2 years. So I'm looking forward to get my first fight with them at 155 pounds. All 4 of my fights, my last 4 fights, I've finished my opponents in the first early rounds or
submissions,
you know,
right?
Yep, submissions. Yep, nap time. I like putting them to sleep, tapping them out. You know, whatever works to get the job done. You know, I train at Anchorage Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know, one of the best jiu-jitsu schools in the state. So I love it there. I learn and, you know, constantly evolve my jiu-jitsu game.
So can you just talk about the team itself? I know there's a couple guys. Do you train with Jared, the Killer Gorilla?
I've trained with Jared Killer Gorilla. He's a UFC fighter right now. He's looking to get his next fight set up. He's been in there and trained. He's done some jiu-jitsu there. He's a great fighter. He's looking to, you know, make his show and represent Alaska as well. So I'm working alongside him as well as some other great fighters from Alaska.
All right, and can you just talk about that aspect? You know, just so having Alaskans be noticed on a national stage like that. You have Lauren Murphy. He wasn't necessarily an Alaskan, but Demetrius Johnson, Demetrius Mighty Mouse, he fought in the AFC as well. And you yourself getting to that next level, because even though you're only 25 years old, but you got 7 years in the game, great record. Can you just talk about having Alaskans, you know, make a push in this industry? Yeah,
no, I love how the Alaskan community works. You know, we constantly come together. You know, in any aspect we have, we're always looking to promote Alaskans and promote Alaska itself. We're, you know, a very proud state, you know, and that's something that I've always been proud of, and proud to be an Alaskan. You know, all the guys in Alaska that are fighters, you know, it's a pretty small community, but, you know, we have a lot of talent, and when we come together, we train hard, we end up, you know, making a very good show, and we come out with respect, and we look pretty good in the cage. And, you know, we just recently had Dana White come up here for the last fights, and they were shooting some promotional videos, and he liked what he saw. So, you know, Alaska is starting to put itself on the map, and, you know, we have a lot of good, talented fighters because of that.
All right, and just in terms of guys who want to get into this game, I mean, what are certain key things that need to happen for any young man or young lady that wants to, or old man, I don't know.
You know, being dedicated to whatever you're doing. You know, times are going to be tough when you're training. You want to be getting beat up by the guys. You know, they're going to be better than you, but you got to keep pushing yourself to learn, to get better, and in turn, you know, make people better around you. You know, have a positive outlook on your training. You know, look into getting into some different martial arts, you know, wrestling or taekwondo or boxing, you know, anything to kind of keep you in shape and keep you motivated and keep you moving in the right direction, you know, is an easy way to get into it. You know, Sarah Johnson is the local promoter here for the AFC. She is a great promoter. She's got a lot of good fight cards that she sets up. You know, if you put your time in the gym and you know, start showing Sarah that you're a worthy fighter, you know, she'll have you in there, and, you know, you can show the world what you're made of. You know, that's kind of where I got my start. And, you know, just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and put time in the gym. That's the biggest thing.
All right, and I know you got to be tough. You're an East Side guy, East Side
That's
wrestler.
right,
so.
T-Bird. Yep.
It's a T-Bird, and I know you got to be tough to rock it out with those T-Bird wrestlers who are a couple of their guys consistently win state championships over there. So really appreciate that. So just in terms of your ability, and what have you been doing to prepare for this fight right here?
I've been spending pretty much every day in the gym. On the weekends I'll get 4 hours in. Throughout the week I'll get in there. Yeah, eating healthy. I feel amazing. This is some of the best shape I've been in my life. I feel great. I'm looking to get in there and perform. Put Alaska even further on the map and just represent for me as well as just everybody that has had a chance to help me and work with me. If it's the right time, then I'm ready for it.
All right, then you're going to watch the Creed movie to get yourself?
Maybe a little bit.
I know it's boxing, but you can watch a little Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan. Okay, cool. Well, we need to go to break, but when we come back, we'll have more talks with this man right here, Naptime, Nic Herron-Webb. Please, you might have to get knocked out and go to sleep as well. But we'll be right back with more of this man right after the break.
We're here at the new Shark's Tooth Pad DS2S, looking down the well row with 141 behind us, drilling some new hole.
This is a key milestone for us because this is the first greenfield drill site in 12 years within Park.
It's huge for Alaska. It's huge for ConocoPhillips.
This one in particular took us about 12 months from final investment decision till when we actually got the first oil.
It was well planned out and all the contractors involved did their part.
The first 3 wells came online strong and we're really happy with the results.
It really highlights, I think, what ConocoPhillips is doing really well these days, which is these projects, we can bring them on in a reasonable period of time and they add a lot of production, they have good jobs.
Just a remarkable project, not only for ConocoPhillips, for the state, for people, employment, just a great success.
Everyone pulled together on this. Everyone goes home safe, and we're protecting the environment and our ability to continue to do these projects.
Don't miss Giant Don's Black Friday sale. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have over 500,000 square feet of flooring in stock, including our huge selection of hardwood, laminate, name brand carpets, ceramic tile, area rugs, and more. This inventory must be liquidated immediately. Our bottom line prices beat home centers every day, guaranteed. And 24 months no interest financing is available. You will never buy floors for less. Don't miss this huge Black Friday weekend sale event at Giant Don's Flooring America.
So you're Alaskan tough, and you want tools that are as tough as you are. You build your own cabins, you catch your own food, and your kids play football in the snow. So you want some tools that are tougher than an origami school project, but you don't want to have to compete the amazing race to get everything you need. Whether you're juggling a dozen ambitious weekend projects, or you just need that last half-inch 13x1 hex bolt for that construction job in Bush, Alaska. So come on down to AIH and get Alaska Tough hardware for your Alaska Tough home.
Welcome back to AKSN, and that's hard work and dedication right there. AFC lightweight champion. I'm sitting right here with Naptime, Nic Herron-Webb. How did the Naptime happen? How did that happen? Did you knock somebody out? And
it's a funny story. Originally, when I had my very first fight, I didn't have a nickname, but I've always kind of had the characteristics of someone who's just kind of lackadaisical and kind of hanging out. When I first started training, I just graduated out of high school, and so I was a kind of young kid, and I'd like to hang out around the house and take naps. So sometimes when my coach would call me, he would wake me up from a nap or something. Then after my first fight, I actually put my opponent unconscious by choking him out, and so it just kind of fit. It kind of rolls with my name and with my whole personality. Kind of easygoing, laid back, and I've got 20 plus pairs of pajama pants now, so I'm happy about that.
Do you go out in the ring with pajama pants in?
Oh, sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. I enjoy that. They're funny. Comfy. Keep you warm, ready to sweat.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so You're taking on Tony.
Ozzy Dubligov, I believe his last name.
Ozzy Dubligov. Can you just what have you learned about his fighting style, and where you feel you may have some success?
From what I've seen on some of the videos that I've looked at, he's 7-2 his record. He's fought for the World Series. He's going to be a tough opponent for me. I feel like it's going to be a great fight. He's got a little bit of a sambo background from what I've seen.
Sambo, okay. Cool.
Likes to throw some big heavy shots. Nothing too technical or too high number of punches. Just kind of big punches, big kicks. Likes to play, with the foot locks and different things like that. So we've been working on, lots of footwork, defending foot locks, and I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good fight. He's the favorite in the fight, but I think I'm going to come out the victor. Come out for the underdog story.
And can you also just talk about, I guess, what's the hardest thing about your training that you do? That I guess will yield you the most success.
Well, I'll kind of touch on both part of those. Some of the hardest things for me to do is I've got a little boy at my house, and spending so much time in the gym, I don't get a chance to go see him that often and see my girlfriend. So that's a big kind of drain on me emotionally. But it drives me to do what I do and do it fully, because there's that time that I'm not getting back, so I'm committing 100%, to what I'm doing, and it drives me. I love the sport. I love what I do, and I have, my family support behind me, so that just, motivates me to go out there and really give it all I've got, and I go into the gym every day, and I'm excited, ready to learn, ready to train hard, ready to get a good workout in, and it just really motivates me. The family, the sport I have from the local Alaskans. Yeah. It's a great feeling when I go out there and I've got these crowds cheering for me, and I know that people are cheering for me back home and ready to just kind of come see me and tell me good job. So.
All right, hey, Alberto, can you play Naptime B-Roll 1? Now, I know you spent some time also on The Ultimate Fighter as well. Can you just talk about that experience and what you've learned that definitely helped out your career so far?
The Ultimate Fighter was a great experience for me. I got to get out there and kind of promote myself a little bit. Being in the house with all those guys was very interesting.
Mike Ritchie. Right
yeah. There's a lot of intensity, in the house with a lot of different guys. A lot of kind of alpha male kind of stuck in this house for 6 weeks. There's things that happen, tempers fly, towards the end of it we kind of all bond together, but it was a great experience being able to work with people in the UFC and at that higher level that, really know what it's all about, putting time in the gym and just, being focused on yourself at that point, It was a really cool experience.
All right, then, and just in terms of you talk about the fight side so much, what about the business side? What do people not see about the business side about just trying to get fights happen, contracts, things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean it's a very tough game, especially coming from Alaska. It's hard to get our names out there. Especially being a fighter, if you don't have a job or anything because you're a full-time fighter. There's a lot of times where it's hard to get those things done. You look for sponsors, you try to promote yourself the best you can, and really just kind of put yourself out there, and that's kind of what you have to do as a fighter. You have to be vulnerable to everybody except for your opponent. You got to go out there and show everybody that you are who you are, and you're out there to represent yourself in a good manner, in a good light, and to try to bring people into you and want to be a part of you, and then just go out there and do what it takes. It's an interesting game on both ends, out of the cage and in the cage.
All right, roger that. So, and just in terms of any type of support you need, or people just wanting to follow you, get your name out there, how can they get in contact with you?
Follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, Nic Herron-Webb, Naptime Nic Herron-Webb. Anytime you have any questions, I've got a GoFundMe that I just started, GoFundMe.com/NaptimeNick. It's just NIC. There's no K on it. I've got some packages that I'm going to be giving for people who make donations.
Okay.
I have a Twitter that you can find me, Naptime or Nic Herron-Webb on Twitter. My Instagram. Anything you want to throw at me or look at me with, I post pictures of my training. If you have questions, I try to respond. So I'm very, very promotive of the Alaska fighters, and anybody who has, a question about fighting, or if you're just a fan, shoot me a message and say, hey, how's it going, and I'll get back to you. I appreciate everything.
All right, roger that. Well, Naptime, really appreciate you coming by, stopping by the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back, but big shout out to Mr. Naptime, Nic Herron-Webb. Say hi, or he'll get you something. There you go. Eastside T-Bar bell right there. Let's go to commercial. Appreciate it.
I am a father, and like my father before me, I have dreams, I have vision. I am a hunter with a deep respect for nature. I have a responsibility to my family, and here we are all family. I live in a place where my father lived, but not as my father lived. And like my father before me, I am Inupiaq. I am ASRC, strengthening Alaska through our values.
Black Friday is back.